And hi there, everyone. And Trash Fam. Hi there, Trash Fam. I fucked it up. Start again.
Everyone and Trash Fam.
Everyone and Trash Fam. Trash Fam are not merely people. They are glorious constructs built of enthusiasm and trash. They're like trash golems. And their little spark is enthusiasm for stories. So that's good to know. That was a bit of a bomb we were dropped on you there. That was a twist we were holding back for like the third season. But, you know, why not front load all of your drama? Anyway, who let this person do the intro? She's always bad.
You're fired.
I would fire myself if only I knew how. In the meantime, hi there, Trash Fam. I'm Praxis Sense. We are the It You Trash crew. Because we are made of trash. Fucking hell. It's too hot. It's too hot. My brain won't. So just for the record, like four out of 6 members of the trash crew are currently in on the British Isles, in the great countries of Scotland and England, and it is very hot, and I'm aware that some people are from other countries that get hot and are going, oh, it's hot everywhere. What's wrong with you people? Well, we are currently in. Most of us are in sort of buildings built in sort of the 60s and the 70s. In our case, the 30s. But these buildings were not designed for this kind of heat. Like we are not, and our bodies, the bodies of the British people are not constructed for heat. And I am mixed race, but you think I'd have inherited the capacity to deal with heat. But no, my mother gave me shortness and no capacity to deal with heat. And that is a matter for my therapist, not for you, Trash Fam. So instead, I'm going to play a perfectly well-adjusted human being in a tabletop role-playing game. What tabletop role-playing game, I hear you ask? Good. I'm glad you got me back on track, because nobody else was. We are playing a role-playing stream of...
Oh, God in heaven, what's happening?
Why would you just let me die?
This is the worst thing I've ever been involved in.
Oh, Christ.
This is genuinely awful.
We were talking about dicks earlier and it really threw me off.
Oh.
So we are doing the It You Trash crew stream of the Green Ronin Dragon Age RPG system. However, the game is a original story written by Sable Whisper, our guest trash storyteller and all-round thoroughly excellent human being. The game is called Under the Sapphire Sun, and it's set many hundred years before the events of Dragon Age Origins. So if you are new to the story and don't know much about the game of Dragon Age, don't worry, there's not a lot of catching up that needs doing. There is, in fact, a setting notes video on our YouTube account, which should get you immediately up to speed. And we left things on quite a dramatic note. So when we do the recap, pay attention if you weren't here last time, because things got real quickly. However, it is important to know that you, as the audience, the Trash Fam, are good friends, are able to influence the events as they happen through a series of helps and hinders.
Why is everybody laughing?
They're laughing because I'm bad. Which is fine, and I was holding together until you felt the need to draw attention to it. Sunny, please mute her. I cannot be having this today. I'm a professional. So through a series of helps and hinders, you can influence the story, and to bail me out of what feels like the last hour of me talking, Sunny Kitty is going to explain how that works. And, oh, please God, do it.
So there are 2 ways that you can influence the stream. The first is by just hanging out with us. You collect trash bags, and you can redeem those trash bags for minor helps or hinders. Those are implemented immediately, or basically right away in the stream, and they are controlled by our storyteller, Sable Whispers. You can redeem those by either, if you're on PC, taking your cursor and clicking on the little pop-up that shows up on our video player, going to redeem points, and click that, and click redeem minor help or hinder, and it comes through automatically just like that. Or you can see below there's a link that you can follow if you're on mobile and you enable, I think, what is it, plugins or whatever they're called. There's a thing that says enable this thing, and it'll give you a link below, or right in our panel section, in the info section, you can click on that as well. If you don't want to hang out and wait for it, or you have some extra money laying around, or you want to do something a bit bigger, you can use real monies to purchase helps and hinders, minor, moderate, or major. Moderate and major are, like, as the name might imply, bigger things that happen. Major helps and hinders, you actually get to work with Sable Whispers and be like, hey, I think this is something amazing or horrendous that you can do to the players. And he will work with you to implement it into the story itself. And it will have long-lasting ramifications, so please be kind. I didn't see. It just must not be as hot here.
You nailed it. Brilliant. Like, clearly you siphoned all of the brilliance from me. And an addendum to add to that, since Sunny wasn't here last week, we are getting towards the end of a very exciting arc in the story that Sable has written. And so I believe the matter is still in the place that it will be much harder to get minor helps and hinders easily into the plot, because there are lots of dramatic things happening, which is very exciting. I'm liking the idea of a mid-season finale. It's very American. So Sable has said that if you have an inclination towards putting forward a moderate help or hinder, he has a lot of those pre-written and is ready for them. And now is the time for your moderates. And in the meantime, I'm going to hand you back to Sable Whisper, because I think he might kill me if I keep talking. Which is fair, I would.
Okay. Previously on Under the Sapphire Sun. Oh, we've got to go and rescue Iris. Oh, we done fucked up and got kidnapped ourselves. Oh, we're going to try and break out of the cell. Oh, we got beaten up. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
That's exactly how it sounds.
That's dead on for Arlen.
I'm not even saying who that was an impression of.
Oh, Kirkwall!
Oh.
You screwed up though, because it wasn't Iris, it was
Yeah.
Did I say Iris? Sorry.
Iris was just along for the ride.
Deeply sorry, because Sassy wasn't here last week.
Iris got choked the fuck out.
Iris did get choked the fuck out. So yes, what actually happened was that Effie's gone missing. She's less missing now, but she went missing, and the squad have hooked up with their old pal Ludovic Ducasse, gentleman smuggler, in an attempt to get back his pile of cash. And incidentally, their friend Effie. And in the process of doing so, they've been captured by a bandit. And now they've found Effie. They've been reunited with Effie, but Effie's not in a great way. So I believe what happened was you were let out of your cell by a bandit for reasons you are not yet sure of. And she told you that she'd created a window for you to get to where Effie was being kept. And you made your way. You've discovered that the place you're being held is a disused quarry. And you've made your way to this place, and you've come across quite a surprising scene. Effie isn't being kept in a dank, dingy cell like you were. She has been actually put in... Well, it's not a luxurious room, but it's quite... What? Okay, but it's quite well up. Sorry, it's a minor hinder. I'm doing narration. How is this?
It was actually a moderate hinder.
What?
I went to check.
From whom?
Ooh.
I closed it. I'm a fool.
Okay.
Throw it in the chat if it was you or a friend.
Own up to this, you traitor.
Yeah, you must.
Roasted pot. I got there.
And Roasted Pot has just subscribed.
Roasted
And
pot
is a follower on Patreon and is just great.
And redeemed a minor hinder before that. So thanks, fam.
And Interiority has named his tribe the Hinder Kinder.
Nope.
Okay, so that's a moderate hinder, right? Just to be absolutely clear. Okay, fine.
Yes.
It is noted. And you found yourself, and you found Effie unconscious in a room that's actually been. It's a cave, but it's been sort of. It's got like a really nice bed in it. It's like tapestries on the walls and a rug on the floor, sort of nicely decorated-ish. Oh my goodness. And you've managed to wake Effie up, at which point she sees you and screams, and that's where we'll go in.
Did we get any armor or weapons back at all? Or we
Nope.
just like
you didn't get your armor and weapons back, but before you left the cell, a sort of sack was tossed down into the cell with some short swords in it.
And I think too, Sable, you wanted to give like a little warning to people.
I did, yes. Thank you for reminding me. So obviously, as it will become fairly clear within the first 10 seconds or so of the stream, Effie has undergone a certain amount of trauma. Since this is Dragon Age and inherently has to explore dark themes, I want to emphasize dark, not grim dark. We didn't want to shy away from that, but we also wanted to make sure that we did it all properly and sensitively. To that end, Sunny Kitty has been working very hard on her portrayal of how she's about to show this trauma. But I just want to get out there that if it's the kind of thing that's likely to upset you, then you probably want to skip the first half hour or so. But also, I just want to say that literally, and I can say this with absolute confidence, not a single human being who has ever lived has ever undergone anything remotely approaching the type of trauma that Effie has undergone. So if you're worried that we're going to be insensitively representing something that could have happened to a real person or that could happen in the real world, I can hand on my heart promise you that is absolutely, completely, wildly impossible. But hopefully, I don't know how it's going to go, but I have absolute 1000% faith in Sunny Kitty. I'm sure she's going to do a fantastic job, but it's going to be intense. Be prepared for that.
Oh, thanks for the warning.
Peak warning. The best.
But you guys can't get out. Sorry, you don't get to go ahead.
Can I actually? I feel like I might be uncomfortable. Can I leave?
I would like to skip the first 30 minutes.
That's fair. If they skip, I will stay, and then Tiernan gets to make all the decisions for what happens next.
Oh no!
Just murder Effie straight away.
Yeah, I was gonna say Effie would like to vote no.
She won't be uncomfortable for long.
There is no problem if I kill it.
Before we time in, I just want to ask: does she look like injured, or is she just screaming?
She doesn't look physically injured. What she actually looks is feverish. She's got pale, waxy skin, and she's got that sheen of cold sweat. So she looks like she's in the throes of fever, but she doesn't look physically. There's no bruises, no evidence of any physical harm.
Fine.
Is she still screaming? Is it an ongoing scream, or was it just once and then?
Well, that's up to Sunny.
So, she's gonna scream, and she's gonna sob, and she's sobbing hysterically. She's just, please don't, I can't do it again. Please don't make me. I tried as hard as I could. I'm sorry.
Right.
Please, I tried.
Mage.
Please don't. It's so dark. And it just keeps pushing and pushing, and I've tried. And it's trying. Please.
That's right.
just want to go home. Please, just let me go. I can't.
So Tiernan is going to step up.
Okay,
Like-
who is it? Sorry, I do apologize for interrupting.
It's
Who
all
is
right.
it actually physically awakened Effie? Who has actually gone closest to her?
Oh, who was it?
Thora would have, but I don't know if anyone did.
If no one has a competing bid, we'll say Thora did. As Effie is expressing all this to you, there's sort of a slight dimming of light around her, and when the light returns to normal, you all hear sort of quick crack in the air between Effie and Thora. Effie, what's your magic score?
My magic is 4.
So Thora, you take 4 points of damage.
Oh no! Okay.
As a spark leaps from Effie's fingertips.
That's not a good thing.
Okay, I do have some resistance to that. Does any of it naturally to magic?
No, well, yeah, you can take 2 instead of 4.
Okay.
I
also,
would say-
was there any time between the last session and right now?
Uh-oh.
Not a single
Oh
second.
my god!
I had
no.
1 hit point.
Yeah. So actually, what happens is more dramatic. This was a minor hinder. Okay.
Roasted pot, you hinderkinder.
So yeah, what actually happens is there's this horrible sort of screaming from Effie, and she's communicating all these really awful things. And as Thora reaches out to try and sort of comfort her, we're friends, calm down. There's this discharge, and there's this moment where none of you actually saw much, or maybe a brief flash of light, like a tiny flash of light, and then Thora sort of, you're not unconscious, but you've been hurt. You're sort of on your knees. You're having to catch a breath, like you're a bit shaken by this. But we'll just say you're on 1 hit point. But you've definitely been. It was a very short. Like when you get static, but it's quite bad, and it really stung.
I'd say that's. Yeah, but I think Izzy's about to say the same thing as me, which is this is snapping point for the Templars.
I imagine what happens is because Arlen is slightly more protective of the Templars, he will be the one to step up on Thora's side and step over her and move her out the way or something like that. But Tiernan is pretty much going to step up, and if Effie is still covering her face, which is a really suspicious thing for him, just to ration out his thought process, he can't see her face, he can't see any changes that are happening to her face, which is incredibly concerning for him. But what he is going to do is he is going to raise his sword, and he's gonna smack her in the face with the butt of his sword.
That's a very bad idea, and a moderate hinder is in play. As you raise the butt of your sword, Effie sort of no, and there is this sound like the air ripping, and Tiernan, I don't know what to ask for really. I guess I'm going to ask for some sort of dexterity themed check. I'm not going to say saving throw, though I just did, but some sort of check. No, it's not dexterity. Some sort of constitution, or stamina.
Does armor in any way play into this?
I don't think you're wearing any, but no.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Sorry, I've written it down, but I haven't got it. So constitution, you say?
Yeah, it wouldn't help you really. But
Just a minute.
the very loud dice. I can hear it. I can hear the dice upstairs.
It's just excessive. It's a good one.
Monday.
Come with me.
Come with me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good.
So that is. Give me a second. 18. That is a 21
Okay.
with a 6 on. It's just straightforward constitution, wasn't it?
God.
Yeah,
damn.
just straightforward constitution.
Oh, hang on. Quick question. If one for example, say somebody had a speciality in constitution stamina,
Don't think it's stamina as such, no. I don't think it's stamina. I don't think there's really a focus that applies to this. But that is nevertheless excellent. So what's going to happen is I'm going to deal you half damage. So you take max damage.
Maths.
9 points of damage. And you are not thrown back more than about, like, you have to take a step back to the check was to try and put weight into your center of gravity. However, your brief moment of pride at not having succumbed to the full force of this magical strike is immediately washed away by the pain that can only be, and you know this because Templar training is quite brutal, and you've known your fair share of physical bullying, can only be at least 3 broken ribs from the telekinetic force. And you, of course, braced yourself, but by bracing yourself, you've soaked up, your bones have soaked up this damage.
So based on that amazing check, I'm going to say that in this moment he will expel a rather pained breath, but is still holding his guard strong.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
will manage that situation later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tiernan, are you okay?
Drop her.
Well, Arlen isn't an idiot. So he's just going to have point his sword in the direction of Effie without actually thrusting towards her or anything. And it's just gonna be, Effleda, control yourself.
Please, I just want to go home. I'm sorry, I don't know how. I've tried. I keep trying, and it's just harder and harder, and there's nothing left. I'm sorry, the waters, they keep getting darker and brighter. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
We can help you. Just calm down.
Just let me go home, please. I can't do it. I tried.
Iris, you might be able to get through to her.
Please,
Effie, listen to me. Listen to me. We have you. We have you.
No, just let me go, please.
We'll let you can go in a minute. We need to calm down. Calm down. In through your nose, out through your mouth.
Let me go, please. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I can't.
It's okay.
I just can't.
It's okay.
I tried. Please don't make me go back there.
I won't make you go anywhere. Effie, I won't make you go anywhere. Templars, can you?
Iris, you're in grave danger.
If you do not gain control of yourself, Effleda, then you risk being a danger to everyone here.
I just want to go back home. I just want to be with my family, please.
It's
chances of that are diminishing every second you threaten us.
I can't.
Arlen, you're not helping.
Again. I can't. I've tried, and I'm so sorry. But I don't know how. You won't tell me how.
Okay. Just calm down. Okay? Breathe.
Iris, would you be able to make me a perception empathy test since you are trying to engage directly with Effie?
Okay, I can. Oh dear.
Tiernan, keep an eye on her. I have to check on Thora. Arlen will go and kneel over by Thora.
13 with a 3.
Okay, so you realise probably after this exchange here that there is a complete disconnection between what you're all saying and what Effie is apparently hearing.
Okay, she can't listen to us. Whatever we say, she will not listen to us. That's not a reason to threaten her, though, Templars.
No, you're right. I would only threaten her if I thought she could hear.
She's clearly a danger to everyone right now. Thora, are you all right? Are you conscious? Can you hear me? Thora?
Don't touch her.
We went, Thora. Are you feeling okay? Are you all right?
Got blasted quite considerably there.
We need to get her out of this place.
Yes, well, that might be difficult. She doesn't appear to be cooperating.
What is she saying? That she wants to leave?
She wants to go home.
Well, then let's take her home.
Well, we can't take her because...
We don't know
We
where
can't
she
touch
is.
Also,
Surely
I'll
she-
remind you both that it's very easy to look at it and think that it is your friend, but it could very easily have been taken over by a demon or worse.
Well, I'd rather not die in this cave, so let's go die somewhere else.
We
And if
need
it
to get
helps her
help.
in the meantime. Just don't touch her. Elfleda.
Please don't make me. I can't do it again. I'm so sorry. I want to. I really do. I can't.
We need to leave.
I can't go with you. I can't go back to the water. I can't breathe. It pushes back. It pushes harder and harder every time. I can't do it. I'm so sorry. Please,
Okay.
just let me go.
Where do you need to go?
I just want to go home. I just want to leave. Please, just let me
We can leave.
We'll
We can
follow
leave.
you.
You won't. You're gonna make me go back there, and I can't do
Right.
it anymore. I'm
Back
sorry.
away. Everyone.
Yeah, I'll back away. Oh, look, a minor help.
Yay!
They're keeping her here for a reason. We need to get her out. If she's going to lead us somewhere, that's fine, right?
You think she's bound to something?
How are we supposed to communicate with her?
What if she thinks she's alone in the room?
Is she bound here? Why? If she wants to go home, why doesn't she just go?
Exactly. She says something about going to the water.
Can everyone make me perception hearing tests?
Aye, aye. 13 with a 1.
19 with a 6.
12 with a 4.
10.
Okay, so yeah, 13 and higher. You hear, and sort of like, it's one of those heart stuck in your throat moments because you hear someone approaching. But thanks to minor help, they're called away. They think better of it. They realize that maybe she's not to be disturbed, and they don't investigate.
Someone's going to come and someone's going to see us. We need to go now. We have to figure out how to make her walk herself out if we can't touch her. Do you hear that? There's people.
Is there?
There's definitely people.
If they're there, how are we going to get out? We can't have Effie screaming and giving us away.
If she thinks that she's running, she wouldn't make noise, right?
Iris, you might have been getting somewhere. Just try and convince her.
Effie.
Please. I'm so
Iris was like about to take her hands and then Mike remembered.
Don't do that.
Effie, you need to listen to me. Listen to the words I'm saying.
Please.
We're gonna get you out of here. We just need you to help yourself.
You're gonna take me back, and it's too dark, and it's too bright, and it just
We're not
hurts. It keeps pushing, and I push back harder and harder until there's nothing left, and it's not enough. It's not enough. I'm sorry.
You don't have to push. You don't have to push anything. We're gonna get out of here, okay? We're gonna go back to the tavern. Okay.
Lying to me. You're just lying to me like you lied before. You're just gonna
I'm
make
not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. I
can't.
promise you.
Please.
I'm not
I
lying
just
to you.
want to go home.
Okay, we can go. We can go home. I just need you to listen to me. Okay? You need to be quiet because there's people and they're gonna want to pull you back. But we need to go. We need to go now or we're gonna stay here forever.
It's just another trick. It's just another
not a
trick
trick.
to make me try again.
It's not a trick. What do you need me to tell you to convince you that it's not a trick?
Nothing. I'm not stupid enough to fall for tricks.
Exactly.
Well, that's a good sign.
This isn't a trick.
I wish she was capable to hear Arlen proud of her, damn it.
God's sake. It's not a trick. You're not going to fall for anything because it's not a trick.
Iris?
Yep.
Could you make me some sort of communication test?
Yes.
I don't know what. Something to do with just sincerity or expression or something like that, if you've got.
Okay. No, I only have investigation. Oh, nice. 11.
Okay, that's fine. So actually, Effie, hearing sort of Iris speaking to you, less the words, because it's not like you exactly believe the words, but there's something about the voice, and you close your eyes and you take what feels like the first clear breath that you've taken in an uncountable amount of time. And suddenly you all see Effie is, if anything, paler than she was a moment ago, and she's shivering. She's ice cold. But Effie, you have regained your faculties.
Iris!
Effie,
Oh, thank the maker.
I'm here. We're all here.
Iris, be careful. Still don't touch her.
I'm
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry! No. So sorry.
Not dead, darling, but can you stand? We need to go. They're
I'm
coming
trying.
for you.
Tiernan, are you okay? I'm so sorry.
Save your tears, mage.
Effie, we need to get out of here. There's people coming and we can't stay here long.
Yes, let's go.
Okay?
You stand.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I would help you, but
Wait a moment, everyone. Wait a moment. I appreciate your keenness, but where exactly is it you're planning to go?
anywhere but here.
Yes, but I would remind you that right outside the door there are possibly 60 or 70 bandits.
Didn't exactly go well for us last time.
Okay,
I mean, obviously we are here to rescue Afleda and, of course, to recover what is owed to me. However, I don't think we'll succeed in that plan by rushing out of this room. We clearly heard someone outside the door, which means that whatever diversion got us here might have expired.
Is that the only way in and out of the room?
It is indeed.
Okay.
And is there a door that I can peek outside of? Or like under or
Well,
or
there is a key. There is a keyhole. Yeah, classic door peeking apparatus.
I would like to peek outside.
We were
Okay.
told to just wait, weren't we, last episode? Did someone say they were going to come for us? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
13 with a 4. 15 with a 4.
Yeah, there's no one immediately approaching, but you can certainly, when you put your ear to the keyhole, you can certainly hear there are people not too far away. But there's no one immediately approaching, so it's a bit of a gamble.
If we're caught, Thora, there's no guarantee that they won't just kill us this time.
I will definitely die the next time.
Yes, you're in no shape for another fight.
Okay.
If I might ask, Effie, how are you feeling now? You seemed rather stressed.
Tired.
I'm
tired.
I must ask, and I hope that you'll excuse the question and hope it's not impertinent, but you've only been here for, I don't know if you know this, 3 days and a little more. I have to know. I know something of the man who is behind this, and I know that he is a true and unrepentant lunatic. And I can think of far too many reasons why someone like him might want to make off with a mage. But do you know what he's up to?
No. I wondered the same when he took me. I don't know. All the possibilities go through your mind, of course. But
Flame,
it
I need
was
you.
he had this water in a pool, and he told me to part it. I've never done that before. It's not, my powers don't work that way. But he scared me, and I tried. But it pushed back. And the harder I pushed, the harder it pushed. And he grew angrier and angrier with each failed attempt. And the water got so bright and so dark and so blue, and it pushed so hard.
It's Efleda, calm down. It's all right. I need you to stay calm. Remember your training. You have to control your emotions. I know it's hard.
Thora, would you kindly make me a perception empathy test?
Aye, aye, Captain. Hey.
Oh, I like that.
I love Pretty's excited that she rolled well noise. It makes me really happy in my insides.
I mean, it's only so well. It's a 16 with a 2.
That is good in this game.
That's brilliant. That's really good, yeah. You see, Thora, the reason I asked for you to make the roll is that I think Thora is the kind of person who's sort of switched on to the whole situation rather than focusing on a single detail. I think she's sort of person who's always looking, making sure she understands a situation. And there was something about Ducas's expression while Effie was telling her story. I mean, he looked as pained as anyone. It was a very distressing story. Here was Effie kidnapped and had this demand to perform some magical rite she knew nothing about. But you realized it wasn't sympathy that was causing all that pain on his face. It was guilt.
Ooh.
Don't care what he says, we're leaving.
We can't leave.
We have to try.
We were told to
Stay
wait.
Here. We were told to wait by who? I don't know them.
Thora, we couldn't beat 6 gods, never mind 70.
What if it's still dark outside? We can sneak past all of them.
If we are attacked, and she is attacked in her state, we risk having a much bigger problem on our hands. Because a possessed mage is everybody's problem.
I don't like these odds.
Thora, what's the matter?
I don't trust any of these people. And I think we've gone in way over our heads and we need to get out.
These
There's only
people? Of course we don't trust Diglees. Sounds like a right lunatic.
We're sitting ducks in this hole.
More so than we were in a cell in chains. We have been over our heads since we arrived here.
Please just wait a little bit longer. Tiernan, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Are those broken ribs I see?
I think so.
Tiernan, that looks...
Can I
Do you
take
want
a
me to-
look?
I think I'll take a look.
Thora's going to shoot Iris one of their secret codes that says, the person in this room is a fucking snake.
Is it like snake?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
she points at Ducasse and goes, and Ducasse is like,
So
She's not
subtle.
She's not a murderer, but it's coming pretty close. You can't know that about someone and not just kill them real quick.
I will let the boys look at my ribs. Open season. Unlimited tin and ribs today.
It's not bruised yet, but does that hurt?
Yes, a lot.
Oh.
Yes. It's fine. They're broken. I've broken ribs before.
You've broken like 3 of them at best.
Yep. I have more. I have more ribs. There's nothing I can do about it here.
You're going to be out of action for a while once that kicks in.
Quite
Probably
possibly.
running on adrenaline now.
Yes, which means if I stop, then I stop. And I don't want to stop. I want to get us out of here.
Just promise me you're going to let me take the brunt of anything.
Once I get a shield, we'll see.
Oh, I hate this. Efleda, can you tell us anything else about what happened here?
I went to meet a contact, and they weren't there. I was captured and taken, brought, I assume, here. I thought of every possible reason why they would want me. When they brought me, I saw a man in fine Orlesian clothes. He introduced himself as the one that you've mentioned, and pretended to be kind and caring, and it was disgusting. It clearly didn't mean it. He brought me here, invited me to change, and then they led me out to a tent with this pool in it.
Mm-hmm.
The dark and the...
Don't go back to the
water.
pool. It's fine. Just try not to think about that.
I just did that over and over until I slipped into unconsciousness and I dreamed of drowning. Felt like forever.
Who did you think we were?
Them again, to take me back until I died. Or succeeded.
We're not going to let that happen.
Thank you, Arlen. Thank you for coming for me.
Of course. I know you're strong, Efleda.
Strong enough.
There are
No,
lesser
literally strong enough.
Yes. I'm proud of you for not giving in to what a lesser mage would have almost certainly.
It's ridiculous. It wasn't an option. Never an option. Rather be dead.
I'm going to get you out of here. Oh, just take it slowly. God, this is a bastard of a night.
We've had better.
How long have we been waiting at this point?
about half an hour or so.
This isn't coming.
Efleda,
Yes.
Never mind.
What is it?
No, it's nothing at all.
If you've got something to say to Cass, I suggest you say it.
Well, I don't.
Well, you know this man. You know what he's capable of.
I have dealt with him in the past, yes.
Huh.
How far in the past?
On and off for the past 10 years or so.
Oh, quite close.
The most recent time, I mean.
Well, obviously very recently, since I sold him something he did not pay me for.
What was it, Ducasse?
I have honestly no idea. I'm not being coy, I really have no idea.
I'm beginning to regret our association with you.
I'm not. But is there anything that you remember him saying or doing when you made the trade? Did he give any hint of his plans or intentions?
He doesn't have plans, only sane people have plans. He has ideas.
How many people knew that you were working with us, specifically with a mage? How did that information get out? How would he know to have abducted her in the first place, Ducasse?
You never know how a man like that hears things.
I think you have an idea, and I think you're just not telling us.
There's a knock at the door. And Effie flinches at the sing-song voice of Merlotigles.
Immediately in front of her with a sword.
Effleda?
Yes.
And the door opens. Two crossbow-wielding bandits enter.
Oh, no.
With their bows trained on you all.
Oh.
Merlotigles steps confidently into the room. He is, as Effie described, he's a moderately tall, middle-aged man, bald and so thin that his skull is easily visible past his very gaunt features. He's just very grandly, actually. He's wearing this crimson robe with this fur collar, and he has a fine chain with a pendant that looks like it's about the size of an apple, but it's a carnival mask, which is very much something that an Orlesian noble would wear. In fact, if it weren't for the fact that these bandits are obviously bandits and not liveried men-at-arms, you might think he was Orlesian nobility. I do hope I'm not intruding, Effleda. Oh, I see. You're acquainted with my prisoners. How wonderful. Ludovic, I can't tell you what an unambiguous pleasure it is to have you here. I really am very pleased to finally be able to host you. And, is this a somewhat awkward moment? Oh, Ludovic. Have they figured you out? Oh dear. Oh, that's very uncomfortable. You figured out how I managed to find Effleda then? Oh dear. Well, I do hope that you'll forgive my intrusion, but I'm afraid that the time has come for us to try again, Effleda. You've rested for quite some time now, and I'm afraid that time is rather pressing. The sun will be risen soon, and then, well, the Sapphire light will be quite drowned out.
Lay a hand on her and I'll kill you.
I don't think you're in any position to make threats. Oh my goodness. You know, it's so strange. You're so used to seeing the armor, you almost forget about the monsters that lurk within it. You're a Templar, aren't you? Of course. But that all makes perfect sense now. But why would a Templar be in the company of an apostate mage? Oh, I understand.
I'm her protector.
You're her warden, which means you're inquisitors, aren't you? This is actually very good for all of you because it's very good for me. And if it's good for me, then it's well, I don't think it's going to help your chances, to be honest. But tell me, what do you know of this Sapphire Sun business? Because I've taken a terrible fascination to it, and I really would quite like to know what you've managed to find out. It's your job after all, and maybe you can save us a bit of time here.
Perhaps then there'll be time to talk about it under more pleasant circumstances.
I don't think more pleasant circumstances are really in your future.
We don't share our information with criminals.
Well, you'll forgive me for not quite believing you, but of course you did come in with this gentleman, whom I hope you're clever enough to realize is himself not on the correct side of the law. In fact, from what he told me, he's worked with you before on his various criminal endeavors. He quite recommended you. Well, he recommended a Flader.
He's going to pay.
He will, but not by your hand, I don't think. You wouldn't want to spoil that for me, would you? Look at you, you're barely standing. Why are we being so uncivil to each other when we could be very good friends?
I severely doubt friendship is in our futures either, Etiglis.
No, you're probably right. I suppose I was just trying to be courteous, really. Well, look, come on, be sporting, be a sport. What's going on with this Sapphire Sun business? I mean, you must know something by now. You've been working at this for months and months.
Allow me to ask you instead. What's in the water?
No, I'm afraid you're absolutely in no position to ask me questions at all. You're absolutely really not that bright, are you?
How many bandits does he have with him?
Well, there are two between him and you with crossbows trained on you, and there's a small group outside.
I don't fancy our chances.
No,
Tiernan is eyeing them up.
Yep. Well, we've still got our swords drawn. We're at a bit of an impasse.
It's not that much of an impasse.
It feels like one. Okay, don't take this from me.
I didn't say that as Arlen. Don't use your Digley's voice at me.
no, he's meta. Once I've started, I just can't. Really...
He does seem like a meta villain.
That's just how I talk now. So hey,
I look forward to our future together.
The wedding's going to be interesting.
Dearly beloved, right?
Okay.
Well, if you're not going to share your knowledge with me, I suppose I'll just have to get rid of you more quickly than I planned.
So, Tiernan's going to do a thing.
Oh, good.
Oh, no.
Some people have been trying to help and hinder, and I guess they get to...
Tiernan's going to do a thing, which makes sense to Tiernan and Praxis, who is Tiernan. So we've been stood ready to go and have got weapons drawn and are basically having a bit of a. Well, it's a standoff because he says it's a standoff and hasn't shot at us with crossbows.
In this world, it's called an anti-even standoff.
Oh, the anti-even standoff only works if both sides have crossbows. Unfortunately,
yeah, that's true.
We're the rubes that brought short swords to a crossbow fight.
It's close quarters, though. I mean, if their reactions are even a second slower than yours.
Yeah, so Tiernan is going to do something that he doesn't think they'll expect him to do. All the time this fight's been going on, he's been kind of ticking through in his head, because he is quite smart and has been trying to weigh the odds up, and is aware that this might not be the cleverest plan, but it's the one he's going to do. So he is going to, because Arlen's been putting himself forward more as the defensive one, and he's just been sort of stood slightly behind him. He is going to step out, and he's going to grab Effie with just the slightest hint of fear that she's going to explode on him again. But like,
okay, I'm going to cash in the minor help from Bun Bun Games.
Bun!
And allow you to do that and essentially automatically beat initiative on this. So, like, you've managed to grab her before they've reacted.
Superb. So,
Tiernan
Tiernan has grabbed her, and is, thankfully, he's got a short sword, not a long sword. He is holding the sword at her throat. He's got his hands in her hair and a sword at her throat, and he's looking very seriously at the bandits that have gone to the crossbows, but is very clearly holding her in a threatening fashion.
Okay. All right. I'm not.
You won't get another mage like this. You won't get another chance. Not soon.
But I've got all the time in the world, so I mean, really, if you wanted Dad, it would inconvenience me somewhat, and I thought that we were getting along quite well.
You may well have all the time in the world, but the Inquisition knows we're here. You haven't got long before reinforcements get here.
My dear hysterical boy, I don't know if you've realised this, but you don't even know where here is. And since the odds of you getting out of here alive to tell anyone are very slender, the only thing you're doing is murdering your friend, which I don't approve of, but if it's what you insist upon doing, I suppose Templars will be Templars after all.
You go ahead and think that. But I guarantee to you, they will find us here. And you will have lost any progress you have made.
Well, let me just do a quick head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, as far as I know, there are only the 6 of you in your cell of the Inquisition. So unless your illustrious leader fancies a quick schlep across the countryside to find me, I rather fancy my chances.
You brought the Order into this. You brought Templars into this, and there are a damn sight more of us than there are of them. Sorry.
You know, the problem really, Tiernan, is that I know a good deal more about you than you might think, because we have a mutual friend. And I know you're not a Templar yet.
Tiernan is going to fire a look at Ducasse that is one of just exasperation.
Ducasse does this. Fair cop. You can arrest me later if you want. That's fine.
I hate him, but also I love him.
I don't love him.
Stop.
Like, Tiernan doesn't swear much, but just Effie just hears just the absolute sub-vocalizing of just the word, damn.
So this is a minor hinder from Calamity, which is him calling your bluff. And what he does is he snaps his finger and does like this. And one of the crossbowmen steps up and has a crossbow more or less a couple of inches from Thora's neck. And he says, if you can move your blade faster than he can pull a trigger.
So there is a long pause. Well, probably not that long, but it's the length that it feels like when you have both a sword or a crossbow at your collarbones. And Tiernan's going to make eye contact with Thora, and his expression is completely unreadable. And so for a second, he could go either way. But then he lowers his sword and, returns Effie to a more standing position. And she hears the sound of him sheathing his sword.
And then, not Ducasse, wow, wrong one, wrong criminal. And then Otigles does 2 things that are very opposed to each other in quick succession. The first thing he does is he makes a noise like, ha! And then he gives a gesture, and his crossbowman steps back and keeps the crossbow tray now on you. Look, all right. Have we had our game now? Have you satisfied yourself that you're in a bit of a losing position and perhaps behaving in a somewhat more compliant regard might be preferable to a sudden, rather tragic end? Look, Efleda, my dear, I'm sorry it hasn't been working out so far, but I want you to know I have every belief in you. I think you really can do this. You got so close last time, so close.
You're insane.
You really are quite dumb, aren't you? You can tell that's not her power. She doesn't do that. She doesn't part water. She heals people. Do you not see that? Are you that thick that you don't understand that?
There are different realms of magic, Degrees.
And are you also that thick that you don't think you, a bandit, have left a trail where you have taken us? The Inquisition will find us. It doesn't matter if we're dead or alive. You can kill us.
Templars will find you.
As much as I enjoy
gets here.
As much as I enjoy you two cross-threatening me, and as stupid as you probably think I am, and you very possibly also think I'm insane, it's a popular opinion, you may have failed to put together that antagonizing me is not an exercise of your most sound judgment in this exact situation. You see, I'm not actually one for flying off the handle, as they say, and making rash decisions. So you're not going to provoke me.
I'm trying to reason with you that this quest of yours is
I'm
pointless.
a very reasonable man, and I shall tell you something else about me as well. I am very much afraid of Templars coming and finding me, and that's why I'm going to kill you all.
No.
Because you see, I can't let you go, can I? Because if I let you go, you'll go piddling off to the Templars, and then you'll probably go looking for me. You're quite right. There are so many Templars, they'll probably find me. I mean, how many quarries are there around this countryside? So, of course, I have to kill you because I've painted myself into a bit of a corner where that's concerned.
I'll do it.
Oh, will you, Afleda? You know, that's all I really wanted. I think I've realised the problem was that the first time you were so afraid that I might hurt you. And then the second time you were so frustrated that it didn't work the first time. But this time you're going into such a positive attitude. I really think you might just manage it, which would be fantastic because I really, really want you to. I mean, I really need you to. And I think that as a reward for your compliant behaviour, the very least I can do is have your friends come and behold our shared glory.
Effie.
Actually, Otigles, you baffled fuck, the least you can do is pay me what you owe me. No.
I hope you're very happy with yourself, Ducasse.
Thor's gonna shoot him a look that's just like, ha, I knew it, fucker.
But does it also have a look behind her eyes of, I knew it. Damn, you're handsome.
She does not think he's handsome. All right, get out of my head. That's me. That's Bree talking. Okay, just stop it. No.
You said he was handsome back in the first cave.
I think so. The pretty ideal think so, okay?
So
I like a crazy person.
So because Tiernan is stood quite close to Effie, like he's turned and made eye contact with her when she said that. Again, his expression's a little bit unreadable. And he's going to, when Otigles comes out with his, I'm going to let everyone come to the mad magic party. Tiernan's going to sort of very subtly lean in and like put a hand, not a hand, like not like a comforting hand, like a touch on Effie's shoulder. And he's going to say something very quietly to her, which I'm going to send to Sunny Kitty as a thing that she hears. But it is very quiet and imperceptible.
Well, I'm
obviously I'll obviously send it to you too. I just mean she can have that.
I'm going to allow you to declare this whisper imperceptible because Jack sent in a help.
Thanks, Jack.
So I will declare this. I think Otigles is so excited that it's really hard not to talk like him. I think that it's horrible. I think that Otigles is so excited that you are working with him at last that he's a bit giddy maybe, and he's not noticing your whispering.
But like his tone, just for Sunny's sake, for if she wants to use it later, is it's not very readable. It's quite neutral. It's Tiernan's voice.
I read it in Tiernan's voice.
And then, like, expressionless, he'll turn back to go stand with Arlen because it's leaving time.
So you are... you are led out of the cave and into the quarry. And as you are, we will take a quick break.
Ooh.
And I will try and remember how I usually talk and not...
Good luck.
Praxis, please go and coach him into some semblance of normality.
I think you're doing... I think I'm best represented by saying, you're doing brilliant, sweetie.
Excellent. Everyone is.
Okay.
I'm very tense right now.
All I
Yeah, my
wanted to
back
do
hurts.
was like murder Ludovi, but I was like, I have 1 hit point and also only the short sword.
Yeah, we're in a...
I wanted to murder him so bad.
We'll murder him later. We'll make up for
Okay.
lost time.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for indulging our break. So you are led out into the quarry proper. You can see from your view, you're quite some way below the surface. But you can make out from here this sort of incipient copper band of dawn. It's still nighttime. It's not quite dawn, but there's just this band of the sun threatening. And it's weird these days because it's always sunrise and sunset are always washed to hues of purple by the sapphire sun. And as you hear Effie in front of you giving this sort of groan of resignation, and you see a large tent that's been set up in the center of the quarry. And you can see there's quite a crowd of bandits outside it, not quite an honor guard of them, but certainly sort of flanking you as you approach, and you hear Ducasse. He just says perfectly out loud, Draste's tits, Mel, what madness have you gotten yourself into this time? But Otigles doesn't respond. He leads Effie into the tent, but after a moment he turns back around and he says, bring in Ludovi and my new inquisitive friends. Let them see I'm doing no harm at all to dear Ifleda. And you're led in. The scene is a rather strange one. You're led into this quite large tent, and on the walls, you can see reflected, like the dappled effect of a shallow pool reflecting sunlight, as the surface of the pool is lapped by the breeze. But there's no breeze in here. In the center of the tent, there is a very faint nimbus of blue light, and you can see that there's actually a gap in the ceiling of the tent, and through it you can actually see the sapphire sun beaming down from overhead. And there, in the ground, is the pool of water that Effie mentioned. You can't be sure from here how deep it is, but the water dances in the cerulean light. And the rim of the pool seems to be a raised border of some kind of deep crimson wood. It's tapered at the far end. Behold my glory, Otigles says. He just seems to be grinning manically, like he's just bumped into his wife. But it's neither he nor Effie who moves towards the pool. It's Iris, who turns to face you all. And Iris, you say, this is wrong. Effie, don't go near it. I don't know what's happening, and I don't know why it's here. But this isn't water, is it, Ducasse?
What do you mean?
Ducasse looks completely stricken, but he just shakes his head. And Iris, who looked between him and Otigles, says, this is an alluvion.
You have to enlighten me.
Otigles is absolutely delighted that Iris has said this word. Oh, I should have realized when I saw the tattoos. Of course you would recognize it. Oh, wonderful. An alluvion is an ancient elven device of unknown provenance and purpose. But look how it responds to the light of the sapphire sun. I'm convinced that now that the glass of the mirror has been made etheric or even liquid by the light, that its secrets can be revealed. Alas, though I was blessed by my birth with many things, many talents, magic was not one of them.
It sounds like you're messing with things you don't understand.
Well, it's the best way to find out more about them, don't you think? I mean,
Sounds dangerous to me.
If our ancestors had messed with things they didn't understand, we wouldn't have cuisine or steel or fire.
Or you could doom us all.
I am convinced that there is nothing in this but glory and triumph.
Messing with things we don't understand also brought us the blight.
Oh, that's well, I don't think that's really what's going to happen here, do you? Well, first of all, the blight's already been a thing, so I don't think it's likely to happen again. But on the other hand, that would make things a bit more interesting, wouldn't it? And at least we would know what the Sapphire Sun was for. I mean, you can't deny that this is intriguing. You as Inquisitor must be intrigued by this.
I hope you remember that when your soul burns.
Remember that this is intriguing?
Remember that you caused this. You brought it upon yourself. And you will feel the wrath of the Maker.
I don't know if I will. I'm fairly confident that whatever secrets this holds will allow a greater understanding of the Maker's grand plan. Or whatever it is you Templars tell yourself when you're butchering children. I, on the other hand, simply wish to comprehend this great blue light which the Maker has placed in the sky for us. And I'm sure that this mirror, which Ludovic so kindly gave to me, sold to you, gave to me, will prove to be the source of truth. And that you're the Inquisition, so I know that you care very, very much about truth. None of you are seekers, are you?
No.
That's a shame. They're always more interesting to talk to. But if you were, you'd understand that this is very much something that we should be pursuing. And unfortunately, only a mage can really do it. I don't think you can really stab it until it works. So talented.
Alan, there's no point trying to reason with a man who didn't recognize a Dalish elf who has face tattoos.
Quite, Iris.
Oh, well, not all elves with tattoos are Dalish, and I'm afraid that the Dalish have rather lost touch with their heritage, so you never know what one might know. But I can see you're the real deal. I hope you're not too offended. I can see now that, of course, you really are learned of your people's ancient ways. I mean, if there's any insight you might be able to give me, that would be fantastic. It's more likely to help dear Afleda.
Haven't your sick experiments uncovered that Afleda cannot manage whatever you want?
No, my experiments aren't sick, and my experiments have only revealed that she has not yet been able to produce triumph. It does not mean that she cannot, only that she has not. Do you see?
You're a monster.
No. I am the only person you've ever met who knows he's not a monster. Do you know how wonderful that is? I'm quite confident.
I'm glad you told yourself that.
Because
I hardly think
the Maker told me.
I hardly think you're capable of holding the moral high ground against us while using Dalish witchcraft to torture people.
No. Witchcraft. Goodness me, what a word. What a funny word to use. Well, I am doing your job for you, my dear boy. You're supposed to be gathering the finest magical talents in Phaedus and all of the strange and wonderful, any strange and wonderful knowledge or artifacts that might shed some truth on the matter of the Sapphire Sun and bring them all together. I'm just doing that. And the
gathering, not kidnapping and stealing and torturing.
I don't think torture is quite fair. And it's only kidnapping if Afleda isn't okay with it, and she's not told me she isn't. I will own up. I don't think stealing is quite right. It's just I haven't completed the transaction yet. But also, if I were stealing, I mean, I am a bandit after all. Really.
Afleda is not a thing to be bought and sold.
Tell that
Human
to...
being.
said the Templar. Well, yes. I didn't buy a Fleda. I didn't purchase her. From whom would I have purchased her?
No, you just stole her.
Well-
Aren't you supposed to be paying to Cass?
For the mirror.
And the information on where to get a mage.
Are they on to you, Ludovic?
We've been on to him. And have you never seen a book? A book is a thing. We're looking for books. This mage is not a book. Do you have any books? Have you seen a book?
Probably can't read them, Thor.
I feel that vibe too.
You must confess, Oticles, that as little as you may think of the Order, when two of us are stood here proclaiming that you have treated a mage in a barbaric fashion, there must be at least some kernel of truth in it.
No, only that you must be quite deep into whatever delusion it is they teach you.
He calls us deluded.
You are cleverer than I first thought, you know. You've definitely got comprehension of basic speech.
Maker, save me.
So, from this, I've gathered you quite like the sound of your own voice. So, indulge me slightly. What are you hoping to achieve here?
Glory.
Glory. Glory. Did you hear that? Glory.
Tell me, Iris, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You're an elf, and a real elf, you know. You're Daelish. You're not some poor old pathetic alienage creature. Can you not hear it? Can you not hear it singing to you? Can you not hear it promising glory?
I think that might just be the voices in your head.
Do you think that after all the life I've led and all the things I've seen and done and had done to me, I'm really so fragile that your barbs about my sanity could possibly affect me? See, unlike you, I know who I am. And unlike you, I am in complete control of this situation. And you'll be amazed what that does to your sanity, being in complete control of a situation. What frightens you is that I might be right.
No.
We are no better than those Templars who are as terrified of the wonders the Maker has given us.
This is ridiculous.
So why do you want her to part the water?
An intelligent question. Because I think that beyond this crude, ancient mirror, which arrived cracked, by the way, Ludovic, beyond that crude glass, wonders await. Fleda, my dear, I don't think they're going to be convinced by my words. They unfortunately don't seem to trust me. Can't think why. Possibly because of all the kidnapping. But perhaps a demonstration from you yourself might alleviate their concerns.
Fine. She's gonna turn to look at everyone, and she's gonna look them real intensely in the eye. She's gonna say, "You really shouldn't watch this next part." And she's gonna kind of like nod and be like, "Please understand what I'm saying.
Everyone make me perception empathy test.
Please understand what I'm saying."
I'm not
Oh, why did I take seeing and not empathy?
You see the point I'm trying to make. Anyone?
I got 9 with a 1.
No.
Arlen's too angry for this.
Oh, Thora knows Effie. They're BFFs.
19, yeah, 19 with a 3.
That's my girl.
So 15 with a 4, which for low perception empathy
That's
tin
really great.
is I roll pretty well, but like he's not super perceptive.
What did Iris get?
You're muted.
I just said bollocks to myself. 11 with a 4.
That much.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 17 with a 3.
Oh, no.
I think I said 19. I didn't mean it.
Okay.
My math, I was looking at my dice, I was like, wait, hold on, what? No. Sorry.
So the good news is that some of them realized what it was you meant. The bad news is it's the one with the broken ribs, the one on 1 hit point. But yeah,
We got this.
I assume you understand what Sunny meant to say, which is don't look directly at what's about to happen.
I'm taking the opportunity to look at Otikles.
Arlen and Iris are like, oh sure, but we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on the situation. Wink, wink.
Oh god, we're idiots.
You're watching the mage. You're doing your duty well.
We're angry idiots.
I'll double watch it.
Curse stupid
God.
Arlen.
Bloody hell.
Wait, what? Did I see it or no?
Yeah, you got it. You're not gonna look.
Yeah. Thor and Tin and both understood.
No.
I'm proud of you. My two ships in my heart got me. I love it.
Ayo.
How dare you? Arlen is worthy.
He's
been very nice to you.
He was. My heart fluttered. Like, I don't think Effie's did, but mine did.
I will not be shipped with a mage.
It's too late.
Revolting. Disgusting.
So Effie, you have Effie, you've done your best to get your meaning across.
Yes. Yep. So she's gonna step up to the water, and she's gonna raise her arms, and she's gonna do a really good job and make magic happen. And it's...
Yep, make me a magic test.
Oh, I'm gonna get blinded, aren't I?
What am I doing?
Nothing, dear.
Okay.
No, Effie's making me a magic test.
So it was hang on, I gotta re-add 5, 6, 14 with a 1, but also a minor help was just redeemed, which I feel may be relevant to my moment here.
Is that 14 with a 1, including a +4 bonus?
It is.
That's fine. No, that's good. Fine. Then what we'll do is we'll call it. Okay. This is what we will do then for that minor help, because Iris is Danish and has a little bit of an idea of the sorts of weird shite that happens around Illuvian. We would allow Iris to realise just at the last second that she wants to look away from this.
Oh, why do you love torturing my character so much?
Why do you ask rhetorical questions?
Why do you love to hurt me?
And so you raise your arms and you channel your will into the water or the glass, whatever this is. You're focusing on your intention. For the first time since you started doing this, you actually have a strong intention in mind. You're not just pouring yourself into this. You are probably completely certain that you are in for the migraine of your life after this. But with any luck, you might not actually pass out this time. You will see Effie raise her arms and take in a long, slow breath. As she exhales, an invisible wave passes over the watery surface of the Illuvian, or like a wake, sending a ripple out over it. Then the water seems to rise a few inches above the surface, and then Effie brings her arms abruptly down to her side, and there is a tremendous thundering sound, and the room fills with unbearable light. And that's your season break.
What? What? You can't do that.
I absolutely 112%
What, mate?
Down with this sort of thing.
I also, while doing that stupid face, very nearly lost my footing on my chair and very nearly face planted my laptop, which would have been really embarrassing.
Wait, what? That's our break. What?
What?
Yeah, so yes,
What?
the incredulity of the trash crew notwithstanding. Yeah. So this is this has been chapter 5, and this is actually going to be a bit of a season break. I'm going to be away doing other more boring things like an awesome D&D game I run over the next couple of weeks. So I can't speak for the trash crew. I'm sure they've got all sorts of wonderful things planned. I won't be back, and Sapphire Sun won't be back until the 21st of August, about a month from now, when the third part of this storyline will take place, which is very exciting. And then the rest of the season will happen. It's going to be 12 episodes in total. So the best is yet to come. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching tonight. And I know the trash crew are going to thank you because they're awesome people and they're very grateful to you. But I'm not. I'm trash adjacent. And this is my first ever streamed game.
Don't pretend you're not trash too.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I said I'm trash adjacent.
Mega trash.
I'm a trash bag, which stands for the trash boyfriends and girlfriends.
Yes, I like that.
Trash bags.
Why did we not think of that? That's great. That's genius.
So I've been brought in to sort of do this as a sort of a guest GM. I've really enjoyed doing it, but also it's been my first stream game, so I'm really appreciative, not just the trash crew, but also to everyone who's been watching over the past. It's been 10 weeks. Now 5 sessions, 10 weeks. I've really enjoyed doing it. I'm really looking forward to coming back and doing more of it. I hope I've done a good enough job that I'll be invited back to do more of it. But it's been a blast for me. So thank you to everyone for that. I've really enjoyed it.
Okay, everyone throw your trash bags in the chat for Sable, or equivalent purple hearts if you don't have trash bags.
I'm going to throw trash bags back.
So I think we can all individually say that this whole game has been really epic. And I know we're just going into a season break, but I feel all emotional, which is fine. But this game is really, the setting in this game is really important to us, and you've been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Thank you.
Super important.
So phenomenal. You're going through the encyclopedia by your microphone. Does anyone else have anything nice they want to say to Sable before I go into business talk?
Nice.
Oh,
say nice things.
I'm not as eloquent as Izzy, but I just wanted to say thank you very much, and it's been wonderful, and you're a great GM, and it's been a pleasure having you on the trash crew. And absolutely come back, because I'll die if you don't.
I want to know.
Yeah, well, that's also true. Yeah, you know what happens to our brave heroes of the Inquisition.
I also want to say nice things because, like, you're an incredible GM, and I feel like it's so important to acknowledge not just your personal skill, but your ability to bring out the best in your players and provide your players both a setting to improve themselves, but also feel safe and know that even when we do really hard and scary and upsetting things, they're done in such a way that it's going to be meaningful and powerful and special, and it's an incredible thing to be a part of, and I want to thank you for creating this. Oh no, now they're real tears. Oh,
you played yourself.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
I mean, on that, I've already said to the trash crew during the break, but I want to say sort of in front of everyone who's watching, like, I've been GMing for less than 10 years, as everyone knows. But I've been GMing for a few years now. Never mind why they're cringing, it doesn't matter. But I've been GMing for like about 8 years now. And there are groups that I love sort of GMing, who I GM with all the time, like my D&D group and all that. I love them to bits. They're great role players. But there really is, believe me, you can take this from someone who has GM the Trash Crew for only a short time now. There is something special about the Trash Crew. You know, that I'm a bit of a wallflower actually, and this kind of thing, you know, streaming and doing this in front of people is not something I would normally have considered doing. But the confidence that the Trash Crew have shown me, and the faith that they've put in me to do, because I know that these characters have existed in another form before, and that they are very important. So to be trusted with that is quite meaningful to me. But then actually the biggest reward for me has been how you've risen to this setting. I don't know the Dragon Age games very well, so my natural response was always going to be, I'll run it historically, I'll run it in my own setting, my own time period, even in the Dragon Age setting. The way you've responded to that, and the way that you've responded to the various things that I put out, was absolutely fantastic. Today probably was like the pinnacle of that so far. I mean, starting right out the gate with Sunny's just, you know, really, and you know, I'm saying I was sort of moved by. I knew, of course, it was coming. I briefed her on the sorts of things, to the sort of direction to go in. But honestly, those of you who are watching, who are thinking, you know, you might want to watch more Trash Crew stuff, they are genuinely a very special group of players. They will always be able to, and I can plug them because I'm not part of them.
You're Trash Jason.
But genuinely, if you're in any doubt at all as to whether you want to watch more trash stuff, you do, because they get better, and they're already very good. They get better every session, and they make me as a GM who's not familiar with streaming, who's not familiar with doing this sort of thing in front of an audience, feel just absolutely completely comfortable. And like, I don't know how well they don't all know me all that well, but that's something of a miracle. I'm a bit sort of socially anxious normally, and actually it means a lot to me to have this sort of thing happen. So I'm really appreciative for that. So stick around for more Trash Crew stuff, because like whatever it is they're going to do in the gap between this and the gap between the sessions, it's going to be some really cool stuff, and it's all going to be really different. I'm a very different GM to particularly to Praxis, but you know, she turns out amazing stuff, which is only really possible with a certain caliber of player. So I just wanted to say that. Hopefully I've made at least one or two of them cry, because that's just that's
bastard.
You bastard! Yeah, it all comes from the heart. I mean it.
Oh, man.
I
love you guys.
Like, I can't. I don't know. This is all I have. Like, I don't have friends outside. I don't have.
Yes.
I have 2 babies and a husband that works all the time. Like, this is my only adult time. You know, and it's, what was it this month? Like two games in the whole month, and like it was, that's all I got. And it, you know, I gave that to you because that's how good you are at stuff. You know, I have very limited time, and I've like Tuesday evenings. No, I don't care what's happening. Like, take care of those babies somewhere else. You know, this is my me time. This is what I need as a person to function. And like, I'm trusting you with that. It's not time wasted or squandered, or I'm never scared that you're going to have some weird ulterior motive, because you're that good. So I don't want to cry, because I worked really hard on my makeup, and I want to go get dinner after this. So.
Well, I think this project was like, it was our big thing. Everything we did prior to Dragon Age was just a hype up. Basically, even though we enjoyed it a lot and I fucking loved all the games we did, it was like a big lead up to this game, and it's gone phenomenally. And I've only been here for a couple of sessions because I'm in and out all the time because of my health and various other things, but Stable has worked that into the plot, has let me had that time that I needed away, and I fucking love it, man. I love being able to turn on a webcam, turn on my computer, and just sit, talk shit, and play different characters. It's lovely, and it's great to have a good GM to give us direction in that, for sure.
Oh, my heart.
Oh. Okay.
How do we
So
sun is reflecting off of this window.
I was just going to say, this sounds like we've just done like our big finale.
This is only the season break, guys.
Season break.
What
You
are
just
we going to
wait
be
for
like
the-
when it finishes?
just dead, just
It's
collapse.
gonna be
Yeah.
piles of trash.
So if you thought I was rubbish at doing the intro to streams, wait till I have to do it after I've been blinking back tears through non waterproof mascara. It's fine. I think it's hell on. Thank you, Nix. Obviously, we the Trash Crew couldn't do this without Sable being just such a phenomenal GM. But also, we are emotionally bolstered by the incredibly generous support of our people on Patreon, who are Trash Famiest, the ones that have stuck by us through some extreme times, who have supported us and suggested things and just gotten generally involved. It might have escaped your notice that there are a fair number of us in the Trash Crew. And we always split the Patreon funds a certain number of ways and use it to fund our various accounts that we need and tech and a couple of creative projects that we're working on for future that, keep your eyes on the skies, and that stuff will be released. But every single backer on Patreon, every moment we get a comment or a new backer who's backing us $1, $2, any amount at all, I can guarantee leads to just the most excited reaction in our group chat of just our intense emotional reactions that somebody wanted to give us $1 a month. It's like that concept is still completely stunning to us. So if you even have the slightest inclination or think that we have entertained you enough for $1 or $2 a month, what's that? That's what? I don't know how much Netflix is in dollars, but that's like
$12, I think.
It's like 15 now. They upped the price.
Oh,
it's
Jesus,
outrageous.
Netflix.
I know.
Outrageous.
It's almost not worth it anymore.
Netflix.
Look, so if you are going to spend $15 a month on Netflix, where you will spend a good 50 to 60% of your time scrolling through old things, not deciding what you want to watch because you really want to eat your dinner before it gets cold, and then deciding to watch Friends or Brooklyn Nine-Nine anyway, then $1 or $2 a month to this rabble is surely suitable. That being said, I would like to take this moment just to shout out a number of very exciting human beings who have already decided to take that step. And we are at least as good as a rerun of Friends. And you can put that on the box. So many thanks. Throw your trash bags up for Amy C, aka Domitella, who has been very active in chat tonight, keeping an eye on things and ensuring that the Templars stay honest. Caffeine Kitty, who just everything Caffeine Kitty says on Twitter brings me joy in my heart. Christopher Gallen, who is one of those rare people who is also a friend of Sable's out of game, and he
Hang on. Rare people who are a friend of Sable's. I don't know about that.
out of game.
Sounds like me. I don't have any friends outside.
I'm enormously popular.
You're popular with your friends. Chris Gallen, who is also a lot of fun to roleplay with. He's a laugh and a half. Henry Prestige, who I have not seen tonight, but I will be seeing this weekend as we go LARPing together, because I've outed him now as a terrible nerd. But Henry, also someone who thinks quite highly of Sable. Sable, I noticed a lot of people who like you have supported us on Patreon. Are you, in fact, very, very popular indeed.
Yeah, I'm your guest celebrity GM.
Ooh, well,
No.
practically a McElroy. James Malloy of both Protean City Comics and the Stop Hack and Roll podcast, who is just a great person, and who I actually need to message him about a thing later. So somebody remind me, James, if you're reading this, then message me. I have a question for you.
If you're reading this.
If you're you might have closed captions on, Sonny. Sassy. Shut up, all of you. You can all...
It's too hot. It's fine. You can
it's
get
too hot. Wait, I'm going to do the rest of this. Like,
Too much hair.
Okay. I'm nearly there. Going into the home stretch. Michael Bowman, who, of course, without whom the Trash Crew just wouldn't exist. Without his constant, absolutely... just an unprecedented and overwhelming amount of emotional support. I think we probably would have just quit by now. Just everything Michael Bowman says is perhaps just a delight. And we look forward to every morning that after we stream a game, hearing his thoughts. So the hot bow take. You want to follow Michael Bowman on Twitter, and you want to read the bow take, the hot hashtag bow take. It is excellent, and it's very worth your while. Mike Fielding, aka Interiority, aka the patron saint of the Hinderkinder.
Oh my god, I hate that.
I love it. I love it with
horrible.
I love it with all my heart.
It's worse because it rhymes so well.
So if you have paid or spent your trash bags on a hinder at any point, you may consider yourself to be a member of the Hinderkinder. Sonny Kitty's own father is a member of the Hinderkinder.
He is the monster. He paid so much money.
I can't believe he did
But
that.
he helped you too.
He was joyful when he learned it existed.
We were all
think he
joyful.
wasn't.
So if you wish to be a member of the Hinderkinder, message Interiority to find out how. Mike Kilburn, who is maybe known to some of you as Ensign Casey in the Trash Crew's game of Star Trek Iskander. When I say Trash Crew, I mean me. I am the only member of the Trash Crew in that game, but it's still a great game, and I don't have to GM it, so that's exciting for me. And as I've promised some people, there will be more Iskander coming soon. We have made plans to do so. So if you're a Trekkie, then we are well worth your time. Richard Hawkes, another one of Sable's friends. Sable, seeing the conspiracy of Sable here. Rich Hawkes.
Slow takeover, I see.
Yeah.
I say that. Rich has been Sable and my friend for many, many years. Spent many years late at night in our house when we were students, discussing student things, as is important matters of the day. Roasted Pot, who has been active in chat tonight and who just subscribed to us on Twitch. Yes, Twitch.
Yes.
That's what we stream on. Didn't say Twitter. Got really proud of myself and then tripped myself up. So throw your trash bags in the chat for Roasted Pot. William P. Hoffman, who I actually know very little about. So if you are William P. Hoffman, tell me some facts. Give me your biography. I wish to call out exciting things that you say or do. Maybe I already know you under a different name. Are you my long lost sibling? If so, do let me know, because neither of my parents have remarried or even got divorced in the first place. So, that would be really exciting for me to know. And of course, I always leave him to last because he has the best name. And even though it throws off my alphabetization, I don't care, because everybody throw your trash bags up and your hands up and drink a glass of gin for the inimitable Helena Handbasket, known in the chat as Bloody Violet, who is just one of the best people, who I believe gave us a help today because he wanted us to do well at things. And also it's his birthday soon, so be nice to him because he's great. So yeah, Patreon news. To anyone who is thinking of backing us on Patreon, very recently, Sassy Dragon gave an exclusive release of a project she was working on for a mysterious benefactor, which is the theme song
of the It You Trash Crew's acclaimed role-play game, which was an anime-inspired role-play game called Nishikawa High School Mystery Club, the first season of which is all available on our videos at the moment.
We can leak the name of the song, right?
Do the honors. The song is, of course, by the Japanese band. What was it? Three Mike's Bike. Three Mike's Bike.
And their hit single is Kel Soup Reese.
Which is a reference within a reference within a reference.
I just
a true trash fam if you get that reference.
The whole time I was making it, I was just in the back of my mind thinking, this song is going to be called Kel Soup Reese. Like,
yes, it is.
Oh my god,
you did that, Kel Soup Reese.
I'm so proud.
I'm so proud. I've gone round the other way around, and I'm shamed again. But with a little bit of pride. So yeah, it's actually an amazing song based on the vague descriptions of the song that inspired me every week, and it leads me into in the coming weeks. We just have to nail down a day, which I can confirm. I think is safe to say will be a Sunday, because that is the only day that we, the Trash Crew, find ourselves mostly free or able to be free. Will be the promised Patreon goal, which will be available to all on Twitter, which will be the Nishikawa High School Mystery Club movie, which will just be what I'm calling the movie. It will be a marathon stream run by all of us. Well, run by me for all of us. We just have to settle on a day. For anyone who saw our what was the thing? What's the game? What's the thing I always reference? Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes.
Stop it.
But for anyone who saw our Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes marathon D&D stream a while back, it'll be something along those lines. Lots of engagement, lots of participation, and for anyone who doesn't follow us on Patreon or doesn't want to, doesn't believe in it, or simply can't, all these things are fine. It will be the grand public unveiling of the Nishikawa High School Mystery Club theme. So
I love it. I keep replaying it all the time. It's so good.
It's really good. Sable's heard it now, and he said it was fine.
So have our patrons, or some of them at least.
Yes,
but
I tricked.
They're only allowed to say how brilliant it is. They can't ruin anything else.
I tricked Praxis into sending me the theme that she thought it sounded like.
I mean, tricked. You said, "Hey, what's that a song that you think is like the theme to Nishikawa High?" And I was like,
"Yeah," and I was like,
"This."
Me and my sister talking about it. I'm totally not going to use it for like major inspiration or making the song. What? No, where'd you get that idea from? Me, songmaker? No.
I'm like, it didn't occur to me to be suspicious. To be honest, why would I be suspicious of my dear friends and trash fam?
I feel like that a lot, and then it usually stabs me in the back sometimes.
I mean, I got a surprise song. It wasn't like Sassy showed up at my house and threw a brick through my window and went, "That song was shit."
Drove all the way out there.
I mean, I'd lean out my window and go, "Sass, what is this? Come in and have some tea. What's wrong with you?"
Be like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry about the brick."
You fool. Fun fact, so Sassy Dragon and I live the closest together of any members of the immediate Trash Crew that aren't me and Sable, because he's downstairs.
It's still a fair journey, though.
It's like a few hours. If we were American, that would be like, "Oh, I've just stopped out to get milk."
I could go a few hours in the other direction and get in a different country.
Yeah, that's fine.
See me then. I'll happily make space.
I'll hop on a plane.
So, this has led me. I know I am a rambly tangenter, but I just have I have a lot to say. I want to sing my heart song for all of you people, and I'm just excited, and I love you all. We also, as part of the You Trash Crew, run something which is unfortunately named Trash Shots. Trash Shots.
Don't
Shots.
brag on Trashits.
Trashits. It's a rubbish name that I came up with as a sort of placeholder that never got replaced. And as with all things Trash Crew, it just kind of stuck. And now now we live in the world where trash shots is a thing. So far, I have run 2, both of which I believe are available as VODs on here. First was Mystery of the Blood Maids, which was a game about pirates. It was a murder mystery about pirates and mermaids, which is great. The second one was a horror ARG-inspired one-shot of Unknown Armies that only aired very recently, which featured our very own Reverie Terribly and several guests, and was real good and a fair bit spoopy. Now, as for what the third one will be, I am still undecided. So you are encouraged to get in touch with me. I'm at Praxis Descends, or to, if you are a specific backer, level of backer on Patreon, you will know if you are. You are encouraged to send me systems that you want to see us played. And then there will be a vote for Patreon backers. And I will be quicker about it this time than I was last time. So get on Patreon, back us, and soon you'll be able to vote for whatever game you want to come next. And it might be a good one. I don't know. So far, it's been Fate and Unknown Armies, which are both games that I own and love. So I've kind of felt a bit cheap. But eventually, it'll give me a system I don't love. And then I'll have to run it. And that will be exciting for everyone. And I won't complain about it. But I can reveal there is a definitely a game that I'm going to play as part of the Trash Shots. Whether or not it gets voted for, it's just happening. You can all deal with it. I don't know if that'll be the third one or potentially the fourth one, but I can reveal that it will be a 2-player game. Which is very exciting, and it won't be a super long game. It'll be a 2-player one-shot. And as in 2-player, I mean like me and the second person. So that'll be exciting. If you're into that. If you're not, then you don't have to watch. Who's making you? Aside from that, I think that's all the exciting things we're doing. Is there anything more that I should be telling people about, or that I should be quiet? I'm mute myself now.
Oh, don't mute yourself. Now you've left us hanging in the void with nothing to say. I think we should probably wrap up because we've just rambled on for about half an hour about how great we are and how great the Patreon is. And I think that's bloody well enough. No, we love you all. And thank you so much for coming on this journey with us and enjoying the first half of our excellent Dragon Age game. I hope you agree. Please contact us on Twitter and share your favorite moments or, clips. Just, keep the love train going and we will reply and be stupid and ourselves, as we generally are. And with that, I think we should say goodnight. And we will see you again soon for something, it's going to be exciting, whatever it is, because it's us. Bye, Trash Fam!